When we think about going forward, think about this. What do we think about going forward in a radically different way? We have done male-based stuff forever. And we think about human nature. We're like, oh, it's just human nature. When anybody gets in a position of power, they just lust for power and control. It's just human nature. It's like, maybe not. Maybe it's men's nature. We've been taught to be the supporting role and stuff. It's like, oh, but it's from the beginning of time, Adam and Eve. But what if we don't believe in the Judeo-Christian model of life? Like, what if we're just equals, though? What if that was a political thing put in there early on by the men, to try to make sure women just kind of like keep doing the convenient thing? Because men have a natural desire for lust and control and power. It would make sense. Prophets are men too. That's what we're told. Like, well, they can be fallible. It's like, well, they can be fallible. I don't know. Maybe like the early understanding of like men and women's relationships, maybe that had a political motive. Maybe that was like, it's not necessarily intended by God. Is that blasphemous to say something so contradictory to the Bible? That's like one of the core doctrines of the Bible, I feel like. That men, it goes God, man, woman, like in the hierarchy of things. That's going to be a hard one. A hard one to subvert. No, a hard one to talk about because people have very strong opinions just because it's written down in this book. It's like, maybe, but maybe there's a misinterpretation on your part. Can you be teachable? Can you be humble and just like think about it or hear it out before you immediately dismiss it just because it's like not based in your culture? I don't know. Anyway, I think the world would be radically different though if it were female-led, and it doesn't mean you don't have to be submissive to your husband. You could still be submissive to your husband at home, but you're out in the world like making changes. Or what about this idea as well? Sometimes animal species have like female groups. I think elephants are one, where the males just at a certain age they are kicked out and then they just go on to do male things, and it's like that's just what the animals do. Like, I cannot imagine kicking out my sons. That would feel horrific, like not have a relationship with my sons. But if my sons were legitimately wreaking havoc in the community, I would probably agree that they are dangerous for the others around, like the children or the old people or whoever it was. Like, there needs to be some form of law. And I think as women, we are naturally like managers like that, like able to manage and nurture if we have the correct thinking. If we're been perverted by our culture, and maybe not, maybe some women do lust after control just as much as men. Maybe it is human nature, but maybe we could just like try to be raised by a group of mothers. Like maybe mothers could be exalted as like the standard of care. I don't know, the standard of excellence. I'm not saying mothers are excellent, but they are like mothering mothers who are just like, here's the thing, I'm going to mother the society. And so maybe instead of a council of judges, maybe it should be a council of mothers, when somebody commits a crime, or maybe when we're trying to make laws. I don't know. I just kind of think like maybe human nature really is just men's nature. It's just so magnified because there is an imbalance. I think it's going to have to just balance. I don't know. Seems like we're on the event horizon. Seems like we're on the horizon of something. Like, oh no. Sucky suck. What I really want to do is just work on my crafts. But here we are, brought to this day for his purposes. I'm here in this way, at this time, in this day. For his purposes, like there's no other That is the best way to describe it, I feel like. And here we are. And here we go. This is what we do.